Welcome to Day and Night News Prime Debate. The tragic anti-Sikh violence of 1984 wounded the entire Sikh community. Thousands of Sikhs were butchered and rendered homeless by mobs instigated by some politicians for petty gains. 26 years on, the horrendous memories of the carnage come to haunt till date. Those who orchestrated the riots are still walking scot-free. The long-standing wait for justice continues. The 1984 anti-Sikh riots are a blot on Indian democracy. Just after the assassination of the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, a wave of violence engulfed the whole nation. As it was stated, the tree that shook Delhi claimed about 4,000 people throughout the nation, one-third of them in Delhi alone. For those who survived, their lives just passed away in tears.
The November of 1984 brought about a wave of violence that swept the whole nation. On 31st October, the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was assassinated by her own Sikh bodyguards. The flames that erupted from Indira Gandhi's pyre engulfed Delhi. Sikhs were targeted and riots broke out. Within 3 days, blood of thousands of Sikhs spilled over the streets of Delhi. Only cries could be heard, nothing else. Sikhs were seen hiding in bunches, praying to remain alive. Nobody knows why they were targeted. Did they pay for being a Sikh? Or did they pay the price for nefarious intentions of the preparators? 26 years on, the answer still eludes and will continue to do so.
To discuss this issue, we have in our studios Anupam Gupta, advocate, Punjab and Haryana High Court; Harminder Kaur, journalist and author of Blue Star over Amritsar and 1984 Lessons from History; Arshad Khan, social activist and councillor, Chandigarh; Ronki Ram, chairperson, PU's Department of Political Science; and also we are joined from Delhi by H.S. Fulka, advocate and co-author of a book, When a Tree Shook Delhi. Mr. Fulka, thank you very much for joining us. I'll start with you. You have been following up on this with great commitment. But is the prosecution heading anywhere?
Yes, now the present prosecution of Sajjan Kumar is making headway. 2 witnesses have already deposed against him, and the third one is still waiting. I mean, after the second witness is finished, then the third one came. And such a strong evidence is coming against Sajjan Kumar. We are quite hopeful that at least in this case, we will be successful in getting a conviction of Sajjan Kumar.
Mr. Fulka, 3 commissions, 7 committees of inquiry, but none of the main organizers have been punished, at least so far, and only a few convictions, I think about 15 or 20 convictions, and 1 declared proclaimed offender. So who would you blame for all this? I mean, is the political will lacking, or does it expose weaknesses in the rule of law, or is it maybe both?
You see, this is the political will is lacking. First of all, this immediately after this happened, I mean, one phase is when the violence took place, which happened till 3rd or 4th November. The second phase is started the struggle after the 5th of November. I mean, after that also, I mean, the kind of a strategy was made that all the guilty should be shielded, the cases were not registered, if they were registered they were intentionally spoiled, and the investigating agency was gathering the material and only to defend the accused. I mean, this kind of a thing which has been happening continuously. Each and every commission and the government appointed committee have passed serious stricture against the Delhi police and the investigating agency. Each of commission and committee has recommended strong action against the Delhi police for intentionally spoiling these cases, for shielding the guilty, but no action has been taken against, again, not even against a single policeman till today. I mean, in the recent judgment, the Delhi High Court has severely criticized the Delhi police that when this Sajjan Kumar case is transferred to CBI, after the case is transferred to CBI, the Delhi police goes and file the closure report. I mean, they have no business to file the closure report. This is in so many words the Delhi High Court Justice Sanghi has said so, that Delhi police had absolutely no business in filing the closure report. Investigation already stood transferred. Not only that they filed it, they pursued it vehemently.
But Mr. Fulka, could it be that there wasn't enough evidence and that's how these people have not been punished so far?
No, evidence is there. They are not gathering the evidence. What is happening that a victim is called and examined 5-6 times. A victim is made accused. Accused is not even asked a single question. This is the kind of the investigation which has been going on. I mean, in one of the cases involving Bhagat, the additional Solicitor General had written to Lieutenant Governor that I am shocked to see the way the investigating agency is conducting the investigation. The victim Harminder Kaur was examined 6 times by the investigating agency, and Bhagat was not asked even a single question. I mean, the victim is made accused. This is the kind of the behavior of this. There's a lot of evidence. Now the CBI has also found this evidence, not that the CBI was too much willing to do it, but CBI had to do it because there was so much of material available. But the same evidence with the Delhi police, they just find the ways and means to somehow shield these people. Now, in one of the cases you must have read in the newspapers, a charge sheet is prepared, signed by the investigating officer, by SHO, by the ACP, which is equivalent to the rank of DSP, is finally signed to be presented in the court. And this is a charge sheet in the 5 murder cases, and Sajjan Kumar is the accused. In 1992, this is signed. Till today it is not filed in the court. I mean,
right, Mr. Fulka, I'll come back to you in a little while. Now, Harminder Kaur, you are a journalist. You have lived in Delhi for many years, and you wrote a book, 1984 Lessons from History. Have we learnt any lessons in these 26 years?
I don't think we've learnt any lessons. If we'd learnt any lessons, a Godhra would not have happened and a Kandhamal wouldn't have happened. I think what has really happened is that politicians have learned to use it as a political constituency. Whenever it suits them, they conduct something like this. There is political protection, and that is how they just move on.
Anupam, we've all watched these cases now. As a lawyer, what is your feeling? I mean, whatever happened in 84 is one aspect, but what has happened subsequently since 84, whether it is the investigations or the way the prosecution was conducted, does it all reflect a kind of a failure of the system of criminal justice?
Not only an ordinary failure. The carnage of 84 represents a colossal failure of justice, and justice at the highest levels. Petty bureaucrats, petty police officials, subordinate judges is part of the normal story. But when commissions of inquiry headed by Supreme Court judges demean themselves by adopting procedures unknown to law, Justice Ranganatha Mishra for instance, immediately after the event, and not much of that damage has been undone by the Nanavati Commission, though it has offered a much broader and deeper picture. You examine the top police officials, the top politicians, or some of them, without allowing the other side to cross-examine them. And in-camera inquiry without cross-examination is absolutely injudicious, absolutely illegal. And it shocks me as to how a Supreme Court judge could undertake this exercise in the manner in which he did.
Anupam, do we need a far-reaching change so that, one, there is the inquiries are time-bound, the convictions, the cases in the courts are made time-bound, so that, as long as you're accused, you can't contest elections and you can't be in positions of power?
See, the sheer inaction which takes over the system, accompanied by and encouraged by popular apathy, is something which would require fundamental constitutional changes and a much quicker and deeper process of sensitization than obtains at
But how
present.
come none of this exercise has not even been gone through even once, that we need maybe constitutional or fundamental changes?
That is the saddest part of it all.
Arshad, I want to come to you. Now, what Anupam mentioned was that, after every few years we keep having such communal riots. We've had 93, we've had Godhra in 2002. Do you think if, in the very first place, maybe 1984, if the perpetrators of the crime had been taken to task, all these would not have happened? What happened after that?
I wouldn't as much as go to say they wouldn't have happened. But I certainly think if a judicial analysis of what happened was taken into account, I think a lot of what actually happened could have been avoided, especially so in case of Godhra. I think Godhra is a classic example of state-sponsored terrorism. And I think it is from there.
But,
no lesson is
all
still being
these
learnt.
happened much after the 1984 violence. So what we are saying is that the people who were accused had been taken to task, after 84, in 85, 86, 87, maybe these would not have happened. These happened much later.
I was about to answer the question by saying that when you say taken to task, I think most governments believe in giving a soft rap on the knuckles. Whereas the criminal justice system should be such that when accountability is called for and somebody is held for it, there has to be deterrent punishment that should become exemplary in nature. I for one believe that in cases where an advertent bias has been established beyond doubt, I think in terms of compensations and all that have to be paid to the victim, those amounts must be received from or recovered from the personal assets of policemen and other politicians and all involved and convicted in those matters.
I think as Anupam said, I think needs fundamental and maybe constitutional
changes are required.
Changes.
Such that
yes, Professor Ronkiram, you dealt with a number of conflict situations, but I think the lack of accountability is this. What is your view, that lack of accountability actually perpetuates such crimes time and again?
Where we find the lack of accountability, we have to decide. We are talking at two levels. We are talking at the level of the state. State is perpetuating such violence, or we are trying to talk about violence erupting from the society. Until unless we try to identify this case very meticulously, we will not be able to fix the accountability.
But Professor Ronkiram, what is actually happening is that this politics of violence is kind of used during elections. It happened in 84, it was used by the Congress. In 93, it was used by the Shiv Sena, it was used by the BJP in Gujarat. So what is the way out on this?
So see, they are using not the politics of violence, because they are trying to use politics. If they find violence is quite facilitating, they employ it. But the question is that there is definitely a strong constituency in the political arena which like to use this violence. So if we have a strong society, we wonder, people who are living together for centuries, how come on a one fine evening they start killing each other? So now on this account,
but this goes across parties. Various parties have been responsible for this.
This goes across parties, this goes across nations, this goes across civilizations, but this is common in all the humanity. So in this case, we have to take it very seriously. Where does the seeds of discontent lies, and where the accountability has to be fixed? Here we talk about the civil society. Do we have can we find answer to violence through the court? Fulka Sahib has very kindly told us very clearly. For the years together, committee after committee, you said rightly, commission after commission tried to fix that, but nothing is happening. Why there is not a strong opposition from within the country, democratic country, India, a democracy in the making, that something should come? Why only Sikhs should ask this? Why not other people come out?
Mr. Fulka, I'm going to come back to you. Do you think even